Hello, this is Charting Man Dan of TheChartGuys, where we teach the little guy and girl how to utilize charts to manage their own trades and investments. What do I mean by the little guy and girl? Well, we just had two directives signed halting the implementation of a rule that requires financial advisors to act in the best interests of their client. Let that sink in a little bit. The big wigs on Wall Street can play with your retirement and hard-earned money without your best interests at heart. We currently have hundreds of members taking charge of their financial future, and we would love for you to come check out a free week with no credit card required to see if our services would be beneficial on your path to financial independence as well. What we offer, we have a separate course of over 5 hours in length on when to enter and exit positions. And in terms of what we do daily, we have nightly videos, key levels updated each morning before the bell, 2.5 hours of live daily webcam coverage in the morning and in the afternoon, and over 7 hours of educational videos. All of these links can be found in the description of this video. Come check us out. Thanks for watching. Let's get on to the technical analysis. Looking at the Facebook on the daily, weekly, shorter term time frame. So we've got a bit of a battle going on between the bulls and the bears the past 2 days. You can see on Thursday we had a nice lower wick with bulls buying the dip, closing up close to the high of the day. And then on Friday we had a bull push higher, but profit taking by the end of the day and an upper wick showing selling. So if you combine those 2 days together, it would pretty much be one big doji of indecision with the lower wick and the upper wick. And the all-time high is 135.49, and we came within about 55 cents of that level. So what I'm watching is that all-time high and the higher low pattern on the daily. As you can see, the higher lows are still intact. 133.68 is the low of Friday. So if we break that on Monday without breaking the new all-time high, I would expect a little bit of consolidation and for this range to tighten. We have our high, the all-time high, our low of consolidation after the earnings. Now we're going to be watching if we form a lower high and then pull back a bit, breaking that higher low pattern to see this range tighten, or the bulls push through and get a new high, a new all-time high. So it's going to depend on what the technology sector as a whole does and what the S&P 500 is doing. And we're pretty much on the brink of that all-time high. The weekly time frame, bearish reversal candlestick last week, rejecting from the upper Bollinger Band, completely negated this week with a lot of strength. That's a very solid bull candlestick, and we are on the verge of the all-time high. So as of right now, that is going to be the make or break. Pretty much on Monday, we're either going to see that new high or we're going to lose 133.68 support, and then we'll be looking down at 132.44 for the bulls to form a higher low. And the middle Bollinger Band support will be acting as a support that could form a higher low as well, because it's going to be above 130.30, the low of that reaction to earnings. So looking on the 5-minute time frame for Facebook, we were all over the place Friday morning, where we had an initial pullback, and then the bulls just showed up in a big way and saw a 25-minute breakout. And if you look at the individual, you look at XLK, the technology sector, and it had that same breakout, not the same kind of magnitude, but at that time period, we had a 25-minute bull move on XLK. Look at QQQ, which is heavily weighted in the technology sector, same bullish move, and then we see it in Facebook a little bit more magnified. So that's why it's important to have multiple monitors watching all different sectors in correlation, in my opinion, because you look at that on Facebook and you say, oh, what's the news? But then you check in on the technology sector and see that all of the technology names are seeing that same move in the same time. Not the same magnitude, but definitely a 25-minute bull move. So from there, we consolidated, we back tested and held the 100-period 5-minute moving average support, set a lower high, and then at the end of the day, we did set a lower low. So that's the weak note that we ended on, with the daily candlestick showing that upper wick, because we had that lower high and lower low. So on the hourly time frame, we had all that choppy back and forth action with the 20-period moving average, so I wasn't paying as much attention to that on the hourly time frame on Friday. We did hold it. We bounced right off of that at the low of the consolidation, which lined up with those 5-minute moving average supports, but then we did lose it by the end of the day. So we're looking down at that 133.68, 133.31, the low of the day before it, and then the hourly support would come after that. So a pretty important day, or pretty important start to next week with the tightening range. Either an all-time high or a break of the higher low pattern on the daily is coming. I appreciate you watching. We'll check back in Monday.